Kristina Tahel Amelong. Every week in our weekly service at One Love, One Communion, Many Paths, One Mountain, I have the honor and opportunity to study the first principles of reality as they have been articulated by Dr. Marc Gafni and Barbara Marx Hubbard. Those two have worked together for over 100 collective years to articulate the story of the new human and the new humanity based on these first principles. The first principles constitute what they have called a universal grammar of meaning, or the new story, or a global ethos for a global civilization. Every week, guided by grace, Dr. Marc articulates the principles in precise formulations, and every week I recapitulate pivotal sections of the first principles in direct quotes from the prior week's articulation of Many Paths, One Mountain. I spend hours picking the exact string of direct quotes from their articulation and weaving them together, a string of sentences that I hope will activate in you a heart inflamed and committed to changing the world with outrageous love. Here goes the recapitulation. Emergence, called by my future self. We're here for revolution. In a moment in time unlike any other in previous human history, poised between a potential utopia and a potential dystopia, or the loss of the entire future. We have a global civilization, and the technology of that global civilization is exponential. Every previous civilization has fallen, and we have not fixed the fatal flaws that cause their downfall. If we do not shift course, the inexorable logic of history will cause our civilization to self-terminate. But if our civilization falls, it falls globally. And because of our exponential power, it causes the sixth mass extinction, the end of humanity as we know it. Yet we do not have to fall. We can rise to heights of possibility for goodness, truth, and beauty that defy imagination. To change, we must evolve the source code of our global exponential civilization. Only a new story changes civilization. We think and feel in stories. Story is our first portal to deep knowing and to understanding reality. And at this moment, we are in a time between stories. We're here at this time between stories, this time between worlds, to actually do the most effective moral act possible, which is to articulate a new story based on first principles and first values of cosmos that can become the ground for a global ethos, for a global civilization. There is a narrative arc to cosmos. There's a story in cosmos. Science at its leading edge and religion at its leading edge are stepping out of their old positions and articulating this narrative arc to cosmos. Story is an unbelievably important structure, and story holds value. Let me say it again. First principles and first values are the fabric of a new story that then becomes the ground for a global ethos, for a global civilization. It's the call of the future that makes us want to stay. It's not enough to go into the fullness of the present. which is enlightenment science. It's not enough to be reworking the trauma of the past, which is psychological science. We need to step into the science of the future, emergent science. At the core of emergent science is the memory of the future, calling us the next level of beauty, goodness, and truth, without which we cannot survive or thrive. This is the creative advance of noble novelty, evolution calling us into the higher and deeper versions of ourselves. If we lose connection to the future, we depress our one life energy and the energy of the collective. If we sense there is no future, we collapse. Suicide and depression are rising all over the world. It is your unique self, which is the sensory organ that is attuned to the call of your future self. There are 3 questions to ask yourself to access your unique self-contribution. 1, what are you good at doing? 2, what do you love doing? 3, what is most needed? In this generation, the last question is actually more important than the other 2. This is a moment of urgent need. We need to fall in love with our unique capacity to answer the great calling of the time. We have been born at this moment. We were born at this moment because we've got something to do here. Our lives are extraordinary. The future burns in us. We are the body of the revolution.